Yo, what's up, G's? How you all doing? It's your boy Shaney G. Today we're going to be reacting to Jelly Roll, Save Me. Now I think this song is going to be super relatable. And I just wanted to say, I've been going through quite a bit this week. So I hadn't been posting a lot of videos because I just had a lot on my mind. So I thought I'll take a little bit of a break from YouTube. I'm going to go a little bit back here in the story. So a couple of weeks ago, I did a video for Chalk Outlines by Ren. I'll leave a link in the description. You guys can go check that out if you want to see a little bit of more backstory. But that song, I spoke about how I suffered with addiction in the past. When I was a little bit younger and stuff like that, my parents used to let us just have a little bit of tots or drinks here and there, so it wasn't too bad or anything like that. Most of the stuff I didn't even enjoy anyway. I came to about 12 years old, and then I smoked a little bit of doobie with my older brother once or twice, but not that much. So he just did it with his older friends because he was 4 years older than me, so they were experimenting and I was just tagging along there. And then I was like, I didn't think anything much of it. About 2 to 3 years later, then I started hanging around with other friends that used to smoke weed, and then I used to smoke a lot more. Yeah, I started smoking weed before I even started smoking cigarettes, and then about a year later, I went on to cigarettes. I didn't really drink that much in the beginning, and then maybe when I got to about 16 or so, then I started drinking a lot heavier. I used to drink tons of wine. I would sit in my room, take my parents' wine and just drink it there by myself. I would sit on like chat, Vampire Freaks back in the day, and all these chat rooms and stuff like that. Just drinking by myself, feeling depressed. I've always suffered heavy with depression since I was younger. So then I always kind of just felt outcast, I guess, in a way, because I was always so tall and bigger, and people like saw me as different, and then they would always just point that out. So 16 years old, back to that story, then I started drinking a lot more and smoking weed. But every chance I could get, like, I'll go out on the gigs and stuff like that, I'll just be drinking. I felt like it was the only way I could communicate to people. And I drank for quite many years, actually. But I binge drink a lot, though. It's not like it was all the time. I mean, I was still young, so I could only like drink on the weekends, but when I could drink, I'll just go balls to the wall crazy with it. I mean, even one of the first times that I ever drank alcohol, I almost gave myself alcohol poisoning. I drank a full bottle of vodka. It was cane, actually, so I'll never forget that day. And I was just like at a friend's party. Before the party even started, I just downed this thing because I didn't even know how it was going to work. Next minute, I'm like staring at the star. I'll never forget it. I just fell backwards onto the floor, and I just laid there for about 4 hours. I think I died a few times. People said I like stopped breathing, and I like got sick, and then yeah, but luckily survived that. You think that would be your lesson, but no. So yeah, drank for many years. Then I went overseas to the UK. Then I got a gambling addiction when I was living over there because I was always worried about money. So I just always was hustling hard to try to get money. And then I got into a relationship that was like heavily involved on money because I was the only one at the time making money. Then I had to try to support us both, and then the pressures were getting too much for me. These are all just kind of excuses. I'm realizing now that I'm older, but back then I used to make a lot of excuses for a lot of things and then just do dumb things and not think anything through. So I got into a heavy gambling addiction there, and then lost my job and everything, but I lived there about 3 years. It started off good. Everything in my life starts off good, and then I self-sabotage myself always. Yeah, I got into heavy drinking there. I mean, yeah, well, I did drink as well, and then I also gambled. Then I was with somebody, and then they decided they couldn't take it anymore, which was fair enough. I didn't blame them, so they left me, and that hit me hard. And then I went on a huge drinking binge, and then I ended up going to hospital because I tried to commit suicide. And that was like pretty dark. They were offered me counseling and stuff there in the UK. I kind of got through that for a little bit, and then I was like, nah, I can't handle this anymore. And because I was there basically by myself, I was living in Scotland. I was like, nah, I have to go back to South Africa. So I just came back home, and then I was like, yeah, just chilling for a while, drinking a bit more, and then I started taking this other drug, Cats. I used to do it also, but when I was younger, but I didn't like it that much because the come down would be like so intense and make you feel super depressed. But then I got into this metal band, and a lot of the guys in that band were doing it, and I was like, oh, let's just try it out. Then I started enjoying it and doing more and more and more. Then I actually just stopped drinking, and I even really stopped smoking weed. All I just wanted to do was keep doing cat. It's not actually like that horse cat. This is like another cat in South Africa. It's almost like meth, but not I was gonna say not as bad, but I mean it's really bad, but it's not as like harmful, I would say. Meth is like more powerful, and it will mess your body up like quicker, if I could say that. But it's still pretty bad stuff. And then I was on that, wasting tons of money just doing that. Like, I was just doing cat for a long time. That just started getting out of control way more than anything, because then I started wanting to do it like almost daily. And then I had a nice awesome job that I always wanted, working at a computer shop, because I always just loved working with computers. And I was like, yeah, I'm going to become like a computer engineer maybe one day, or just work with computers. I would have loved that, like being in IT. So I had this awesome job, just like, well, it was awesome-ish, but the pay wasn't the best, but it was getting me to where I wanted to be in my mind. I was dating somebody else. I always like see it's like these relationships that if something goes wrong in a relationship as well, then I'll use that as an excuse to do bad things. And then we broke up, and then that person, I was really devastated about that. So then I just went on a heavy binge for a long time, and then I ended up, because at that job that I was working at, I became like assistant manager at one of the branches. Like I was doing really well, but then the pay wasn't that well, but they were going to up my pay. But then before that happened, I just messed it up because I ended up taking money from the register. And then I just felt so guilty that like 2 days later, I went and told them. But then they had me arrested. They didn't even bother trying to help me. And that was the first time I experienced ever going to jail. And then I went to, like they obviously put you in the holding cell. And then I went to the big jail for one day because my mom couldn't get there in time for bail. So then I stayed in the big jail. Yes, that was like just for one day. And then I came out. I was like, yeah, I'm going to get clean and everything, but I didn't. And then I ended up going on to bed for almost a year. And then that just spiraled out completely. Yes, I was doing some crazy things to try and get that money. And I had these thoughts that I never ever thought I would have. And then we used to have a guy that would rent out our property. And he was a mechanic, and he used to work on cars there. And my mom would rent out the house next to us. Well, it was like my grand's cottage. My grand used to stay there. We built a cottage on our house. We had like a huge yard. And then she rented it out to this other guy. And then he was also on drugs. And then we basically just went and took like a lot of the car parts that were around there, that place, and then sold it for scrap. Most of it we would have got away with it. But then the one time we got brave and we ended up scrapping like a Range Rover's engine. And then eventually the guy was like, well, what's going on? Because obviously he needed to put that in there in the car and everything. And then he had the suspicion that it was me and this other guy, but we obviously denied it. But then they found my footprints in one of these trucks, and then I kind of just gave in and told everyone, okay, no, this is what's happening. The guy had us arrested, and then they didn't come for us for like a while. I think because of the other guy, he would try to pay off the cops and everything like that, so they just left it for a while. But then the dude that was laying the charges was like adamant. He was like, I'm going to have these guys arrested, especially the guy that was living next door to us, because he didn't like him that much. But this mechanic was like a family friend. I've known him since I was younger. So I felt really, really, really horrible for all the things I had done. But eventually they charged us for theft. Because I admitted to doing the crime and stuff. I was arrested again. Then they took me to this other jail, and I was there for about a week because it was the second time I had been arrested. If you get arrested twice, then they have to confirm that you live at your address, so that you're not like a runaway risk. And then while that was happening, I forgot my other court day. It was like crazy stories anyway. But then, I stayed in the big jail for 7 days, and that was something I'll never ever forget. It was horrible. But at least I managed through it. I suffered through. It's all like your own doing that. You create these own prisons in your mind. Obviously, you're doing all these drugs and you're doing the wrong things in your life, and it's leading you to places that you don't want to go to. And then eventually you will go there because that's what's happening. You bring in that bad juju into your life. And then my mom paid bail again, so I was there for a week. She got me out of jail there. And eventually I was just talking to somebody on the phone. Oh, I'd always just be talking to random people on Facebook. And then eventually I started talking to Celeste, my fiance. And then she helped me a lot. We just talk for hours in the last time. I was still going through all of this. I told her everything that was happening in my life. My mom was about to move house. I was about to be basically kicked out on the streets. I had nowhere to go. I was like right at the rock bottom of my life. Then Celeste just came and visited me for one day. And then the rest is history. She basically picked me up that day, and I've been with her like 9 years later. I think there's been one day that we've been apart in those 9 years. Um, but yeah, the first few months were pretty hard, obviously, because I was still on drugs, and then I was also taking a lot of. I was just taking anything basically because I thought I was still going to go to jail because the trial was still pending. Unfortunately, they dropped the case because Celeste helped pay me out of that situation. The other guy wasn't going to go to jail anyway. I think he basically bribed his way out of it, so he was never ever involved. He never even came to the courts or anything. We did it together, but we were always separated, and I was like something else suspicious. But I just think he bribed the detective to get out of the case because, yeah, it's so corrupt, it's easy to do. So then I just paid the guy off a little bit of money thanks to Celeste. They helped me out. Well, she helped me out, and I'll never forget that. So I'm always grateful for what she did there. Then, yeah, after that, then I just started, because I knew about this cactus plant called San Pedro. And inside of the San Pedro, there's a chemical compound called mescaline. And if you cook that up and drink it, you'll get like psychedelic experiences. So I started experimenting with that. And then that coupled with Celeste, also because I kept doing the drugs there as well. And I don't blame her. It was like, that stuff is crazy meth. You could be up for like days. I've had like psychotic episodes sometimes, and just not a fun experience. I don't blame anybody that doesn't want to be around somebody that's involved with that stuff. But yeah, basically the mescaline, and also thinking that I was going to lose everything and really be on the streets and stuff. I was like, no, I have to pull myself together. Also, I was lucky that I got an inheritance from just somebody that passed away in the UK. I couldn't believe it. It was like winning the jackpot. It wasn't too crazy, but it was awesome. After all of that, I was like, no, I can't keep living this life anymore. I mean, I used to smoke cigarettes as well, so I stopped smoking cigarettes. And then I also stopped meth, and then I just blew up, like, became, I think I went from about 100 kilograms, no, because obviously I was on the meth and stuff, so I went from maybe like 85 kilograms to 150 kilograms. I basically picked up a whole chain on the way. And then, yeah, I just got like huge. But at least I stopped the drugs and everything. And then the smoking. But then I obviously replaced it with eating. But then I was like, no, I can't be like this anymore. Then I started exercising, lost a ton of weight. Stopped the drugs, like the hardcore meth. That I haven't done in about 8 years now. So I've been 8 years sober. In the last video, I said I was 8 years sober from that. But I just got to say to you guys that I still drink. Not like alcoholic and stuff all the time, but I do have periods where I still kind of binge drink, which I've still been trying to work on personally. And then I still take psychedelics to help with the mental state. So I still do mushrooms, magic mushrooms and stuff like that. So I've battled with demons with substance abuse for a very, very long time. And I just want to say, guys, that it is very hard to come off of some of these things, but you can do it. And I just think in life, it's all about moderation. So whether the thing is causing you great harm and harm around you to other people, that's probably when you should stop doing it. But if you can do these things in moderation, because life is all about moderation. We can eat food in moderation, enjoy it. Some people can obviously take it too far. Anything in life, you can take it too far, then it can become a problem. Or you can just... some people can just have a drink or two and then they pull, and it's just like really on the person's mindset. It always comes down to that. But my brother has also been going through drug problems for the past 10 years. He's gone through the same situation as me. So we moved down to Plettenberg Bay from Johannesburg because I live in South Africa. So I live in an awesome place now. My brother was in rehab in Johannesburg. So we brought him down here to South Africa. We brought him down here to Plettenberg from Johannesburg to try to help him out after rehab, because he was also going down the same path. He had been arrested a few times, but my mom helped him out. But then she couldn't help him anymore, so then eventually he went to rehab. He was there for a while, but then he couldn't handle it anymore, so he left. We thought, okay, we'll just help him out because I don't know what to do anymore with him. So we brought him down here to stay with us for a couple of months. Everything was going good. He had a nice job. My mom was staying with this other guy that was like an alcoholic that was busy giving her verbal abuse and stuff like that. So we decided, okay, she also needs to come down. So she stayed with my younger brother for a while. And then he had a job and everything was going good. And then he just decided out of the blue to leave the job. The one day we went there to go visit him, I was asking him how he was doing. He was like, no, not too good. So I was like, okay, let me just bring him some nice treats and stuff. Then he was like, not even there. The work told me he hadn't been at work for about a month. I was like, oh man. And then I had this suspicion that he was probably back on drugs. But we didn't say much. Then he stays with his girlfriend, and then he like a washing machine and stuff like that. So he asked my mom if he can have her washing machine. I warned her, no, it's probably not going to end well. He's probably just going to sell it, which he ended up doing anyway. And then I just had to ask him last week. I was like, bro, are you back on drugs? And then he told me, yes, he is. So I've been thinking a lot about that, and I'm just like, man, I don't know what to do anymore. We've basically moved the whole world for him. But some people, I don't know, see, it's hard. I don't know, I really can't explain. But he started when he was like 16 or whatever, but I started a lot later in life, but I didn't always have the drinking. And I mean, I still smoke weed as well. I'm not going to lie. Weed to me is nothing. It's like smoking cigarettes. I enjoy it. But yeah, my family, like me, I have an older brother. He's pretty good. He's like with his wife and stuff in the UK, and they have a child, but he's never really had substance abuse. But me and my younger brother have suffered pretty hard from it. I don't know if it was because my dad passed away, or I don't know what the circumstances were or whatever, but I always felt a lot of empathy when I did it, and I felt so bad all the time. And I just knew that wasn't right, so I had to stop it. But I feel like with with my younger brother, it seems different. It's like I don't know, like you can give him all the opportunities in the world, and he will just blame everyone else besides himself, and he'll just be like, no, it's because of the circumstances in his life. And I'm like, but we gave you everything. I don't know. So I've just been dealing with a lot of stuff lately. I know that was an intense story, but yeah, I'm going to cut it down and edit it and everything. But I just thought I'd tell you guys that whole super rundown. I don't think I'll ever talk about this stuff that much again in that much detail. I always refer back to this video if people want to know the whole story. So you could say I'm 8 years sober from meth or those type of drugs, which I find to be the worst kind ever. And then I'm psychedelics and weed I still do, and alcohol, like I still binge drink, and I'm not proud of, but I do that not often. Sometimes I can go years without drinking, and then once in a while, then sometimes I'll go a few months, but when I do drink, sometimes it will end up being like a lot. But I can also just drink once in a while, but sometimes it does end up being a lot, and I'm not proud of those moments as well, because when I do drink too much, then I won't say I'm the nicest person. So I'm just putting all of this out there on the table for you guys to just accept me for who I am. But yeah, we are doing reaction videos, trying to get my story out there and try to help other people out in the world, just to tell them that there is hope, and yeah, there is a better life. Everything's in your mind, I'm telling you guys. If you want to be happy, it's like a mindset. But obviously there's outside factors, but it's always just what you're constructing inside of your mind. You can construct happiness, and just in any situation, you can be like the richest person in the world and be sad. You can be the poorest person in the world, be happy. Money does nothing for the situation. It might help a little bit so that you can just live basic life. But if you always choose to do something, that's your choice at the end of the day, and it's not anybody else's fault that you choose to do the things that you do. But I'm really, and for this, I saw that this Jelly Roll also went through some kind of life like this. That's why I was just telling you that he went through drugs, I think, as well, and maybe he went to jail, but now he's singing his songs and he's telling his story. I unfortunately don't have a singing voice. I can play drums though. Maybe I can sing, but I've been told a lot that I can't sing. I've been told a lot that I can't do a lot of things in my life. That's probably why I have that mental attitude that I'm useless and shit like that. But yeah, so it's been a tough week. And then YouTube, I'm trying to make money for the family so that I can help my mom out, so then my brother doesn't have to stress about trying to make money himself, because that's what he was also making an excuse, saying he had to make the money. But Celeste was basically the one helping, and then I felt bad because she's helping my family, and then I was like, well, I'm not doing much to help my family, because yeah, then I was like, no, I just have to try. So I've been pushing YouTube. I was doing YouTube gaming for 2 years, but it didn't really go. It was hard work. I switched to doing this about 2 months ago. I made 4,000 almost 5,000 subscribers since starting this 2 months ago. I was doing YouTube gaming for 2 months and I only made 1,000 subscribers. But I know, like, doing this type of reaction video, people just like the artist. So, like, no one shares is a fan of me, really, but whatever, it doesn't matter, I guess. Because I upload videos, and then some of them will get like 30,000 views, and then I'll get a couple of subscribers and stuff. Some of them will get 20,000 views, but then I'll upload another track. Like yesterday, I did Sleep Token, and then I did another song in the week. I think I did 3 songs this week that did like really bad because the people obviously don't know me, and then my subscribers, they just want to listen to the people that they subscribe, that I reacted to, that they subscribe to, like Ren or Damash or Deanna. That's like my biggest 3 people that they will just come back and watch. But I don't think they really come to watch me, they just come to watch me reacting to the artist. But whatever, I guess that's the name of the game. But let's just get into this. Jelly Roll, save me.
1, 2, 3.
Somebody save me from myself. I spent so long living in hell.
Dude's voices.
They say my lifestyle is bad for my health. It's the only thing that seems to help. All of this drinking and smoking is hopeless, but feel like it's all that I need. Something inside of me's broken. I hold on to anything that sets me free. I'm a lost cause. Baby, don't waste your time on me. I'm so damaged beyond repair. Life has shattered my hopes and my dreams. I'm a lost cause. Baby, don't waste your time on me. I'm so damaged beyond repair. Life has shattered my hopes and my dreams.
Just. Halfway through, I saw my internet died, which sucked because I was really getting into the feels of that. But yeah, let's just get back to it.
What if the night sky was missing the moon? There were no shooting stars to use wishing on you. And all of my sorrows, I just washed them down. It's the only peace I've ever found. All of this drinking and smoking is hopeless, but feel like it's all that I need. Something inside of me's broken. I hold on to anything that sets me free. I'm a lost cause. Baby, don't waste your time on me. I'm so damaged beyond repair. Life has shattered my hopes and my dreams. I'm a lost cause. Baby, don't waste your time on me. I'm so damaged beyond repair. Life has shattered my hopes and my dreams.
Charlie Rogers, guys. Ooh, I got goosebumps there. And my hairs are like standing on edge. That's a deep song there. I can relate to a lot of those lyrics there. I liked his voice though, it was so nice. I just thought I'll harmonize at the end there just to like release a little bit of energy. But yeah, I was into that song so much, and then the internet cut out and it kind of threw me off of it. But then I tried to get back into it, but at least it still got me in the feels. I really want to check out some more of Jelly Roll's stuff. I think he's got a story to tell, yeah. But I see he went from hip hop to rock. Now he's doing country music, and his new album's coming out June 2nd. What's it, Chapel? Yeah, I just wanted to say, guys, like, yeah, you can do anything there. If you set your mind to it, you can change your story. If you're in any trouble, or, well, like if you're stuck in a loop that you can never get out of, you just have to be like, hey, well, I'm changing now. I'm going to stop this. That's basically what it comes down to. That's the only way you can stop anything, is you just like, you take the choice. Every single decision in life that you have a choice to either just do it or not do it. And if you do it, there will be consequences. And then if you don't do it, then you just, whatever. So, but yeah, guys, I just wanted to say thank you so much for listening to the story that I had, and then hope you guys enjoyed the reaction. Yeah, if you guys want to help out the channel, because this video, I don't know if it'll get monetized or not, with reaction videos, it's pretty hard to make some money sometimes. But also I have a Patreon set up, and I have channel memberships if you guys want to join and help the channel out. And then I have a PayPal where you guys can also donate to. If you want to help out, that'll be so awesome, and I'll appreciate it so much, guys. This is probably not going to be monetized, because you know how YouTube is, and yeah, you need money to live, unfortunately, in this life, and the struggles are real, but anything will help. Even just watching the video is awesome, and I appreciate every one of you guys taking the time to listen to the story, hang with me, check the reaction for a bit. I hope to see you guys soon on the next reaction videos that I do. Been your boy Shaney G. Much love, peace, and happiness, guys. Look after yourself.